Alright, what's happening, y'all? It's your boy Rico from StreetScores, and now we have the first full practice for the rookie minicamp, undrafted free agents, draft picks, rookie minicamp invites and everything. We have practice clips, analysis. This one is like the full one. Yesterday, we just got like 2-3 clips. Now we have several of them for like several different people. And so we got to dive into everything. We're going to look at everything, break down of course, we're going to overanalyze. I mean, it's just rookie minicamp. These guys don't even have pads on, but we're still going to overanalyze. And I also want to talk about and even show y'all how some of the DB coaches were raving over Gabe Taylor and Trey Amos while they were going through drills. And also, our 7th round pick running back, JCM Kroski looks insanely agile. Like you see on tape, but it's interesting to see it in practice form. Super excited about his future. And then I also have Gabe Taylor and Connelly answering some questions after practice, and you'll definitely want to stick around for the Gabe Taylor questions and answers. But before we get into everything, make sure you stiff on that like button, stiff on the subscription button, and stiff on the bell next to that subscription button so you get notification each and every time I release an informative and opinionated video just like this one. Make sure you stay tuned to all of the content. Pull up every video. Got y'all covered for everything. Commanders one-stop shop. I'm about to start working on the film sessions for the rookie class as well, exclusively for channel members and all of that. And without further ado, let's go and dive into this video right now, man. Let's get it. Adam. Man, rookie minicamp, man. We're almost there. We are almost there. It's rookie minicamp, then it's voluntary OTAs, then it's mandatory minicamp, and then we're into training camp. Now, granted, training camp is like July, August, September. Like, we're some distance away, but we're getting there, though. We're getting closer, and rookie minicamp is like the first time that we really start to smell grass again. And shouts out to JP Finley, because I completely agree. He said, pretty fired up for rookie camp. One step closer to football. Looking forward to seeing Trey Amos run and turn in person, because you see a lot of agility and on tape, great hips that a lot of corners, even the really good ones, don't necessarily have. There's not much to glean from rookie minicamp, especially for Connelly with no pads on as an offensive lineman, but you will see his agility. You'll see why. I feel like by the time, like maybe in a year or two, he'll probably be one of the most agile, one of the best offensive tackles as far as getting to the second level and blocking linebackers and defensive backs. You get to see some of that already. But granted, again, there are no pads. But it will be good to see Lane and Madrono's speed, and also the Gabe Taylor angle is special. Of course, we're going to talk about and show you Gabe Taylor. We have stuff on every draft pick except for Jaylen Lane today, which is weird, but at least we got some stuff yesterday on him. But I have clips of Connelly, Trey Amos, Kane Madrono, JCM Kroski, and even Gabe Taylor as well. So I'm going to show y'all all of that, break it all down, of course. But before we get into everything, I mean, just the fact that ZachZ is there. Why is ZachZ there at rookie minicamp, man? He was sitting there watching the rookie minicamp practice, standing next to Adam Peters, Dan Quinn, David Blackburn, and Lance Newmark. You had all of the, like, main guys of the organization, the decision makers on what we do with the roster, who we keep, who we don't keep, and stuff like that. Free agency, trades, draft, all of that. All of the head honchos. And ZachZ is just there standing with them. He doesn't even have to be at the facilities today. He just wanted to, man. So you just see how invested he is into this program, this football. I mean, you could tell just from things like that he truly meant it when he said he wished he was just a few years younger so that he could be there throughout, like with Jaden Daniels for several years of his career, rather than just like the last couple. He's already old and everything like that. And that made me tear up a little bit when he said that last year towards the end of the last season. I forgot when he said it. Maybe it was like immediately after we lost the NFC Championship game to the Eagles or something like that. But he said something to the extent of, I wish I was like 7-8 years younger so that me and Jaden Daniels could be in our primes together, so I could be able to witness that in person, be a part of that for several years rather than just like a couple. So that man ZachZ really loves what he's doing with the Commanders. He loves being a part of this. Again, to just wake up on a Saturday that he could have had just free to do whatever he wants to over there watching the undrafted free agents and rookie minicamp tryouts. So shouts out to JP Finley. He said, pretty cool of ZachZ to come out to watch some rookie camp. Dude has a decade plus in the league and a Super Bowl ring. I mean, he literally has no absolute reason to be there other than the fact that he's just excited about football and loves being around this organization and its players. You have Dan Quinn there coaching. You have Adam Peters, David David Blackburn and Lance Newmark looking like, okay, this is who we're going to potentially keep. This is who we're going to let go and all of that type of stuff. But Zach Ertz just being there just purely off the love of the game. Now let's start, and we're going to go in order of like draft picks. So we're going to start with Josh Connelly, then Trey Amos, and we're going to work our way down. Josh Connelly. And of course, this is our first time seeing Josh Connelly for real, because yesterday we just saw him walking out in slow motion. There was a clip uploaded by the Commanders' official Twitter and everything like that. But now we're seeing him stretching. We're seeing him go through drills. And again, you can see that agility that I was talking about earlier. I'm telling you right now, he may not necessarily be one of the best right tackles immediately out of the entire NFL, but specifically at getting to the second level, to get out in front of Jayden Daniels on a speed option when Jayden Daniels is running with the ball, to get out in front of Deebo Samuel when there's a screen thrown towards him. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the type of stuff that Josh Connelly, I think, is going to be elite at very quickly. We'll see about like being able to handle power rushers and bull rushes and, you know, things that come with developing that anchor that he needs to work on, because he wasn't a perfect prospect. There's a reason he wasn't like a top 5 automatic pick coming out of the draft. There are some weaknesses to his game right now, but I feel like all of his weaknesses are fixable, and the things that he is either great at or even elite at, really hard to teach. It's really hard to teach. I mean, it's impossible really to teach the mobility that he has. So I'm really excited to see some of that on display. That again, even though there are no pads, he's not blocking defensive linemen, you can see some of that agility and ridiculous athleticism that he has embedded in him. And shouts out to George Carmi, because he brings up a good point. He said Connelly is so athletic. They designed plays for him as a true freshman at Oregon, whether it was at tackle, at tight end, on the rare occasion of a blocking back. I think he can be really special, tremendous upside if he hits his ceiling. You could argue he has one of the highest ceilings of this entire draft class, and I'm not even just talking offensive lineman. I'm talking out of any player drafted, regardless of position. His ceiling is insane. Remember, Mel Kiper said that if he would have just waited one more year and came out of the draft next year, the 2026 draft, he's more than likely a top 5 pick. The talent is there. It's just the reason he fell further in this 2025 draft is because, you know, you're still getting a relatively raw version of him compared to what he more than likely will be in 2026. But I think with this coaching staff, with Bobby Johnson as your offensive lines coach, Anthony Lynn as your run game coordinator, Cliff Kingsbury is one of the smartest offensive minds in all of football. I mean, that guy found a way to scheme Andrew Wiley into a good right tackle with the way that he called plays, designed plays, had guys chip in to help a little bit occasionally and things like that. Imagine what Cliff Kingsbury is going to do with this physical freak of a specimen. I mean, there's just no reason somebody that big can move that well with their quick, their feet, their hips, all of that type of stuff. So I'm really excited about Josh Connelly. Again, you're seeing him go through his practice, and I'm ready, man. I'm super excited. Again, it's not like a lot to take from this, especially an offensive lineman with no pads, but you see the athleticism, man. And then shouts out to JP Finley for this clip right here, where he pointed out O-line drills, Josh Connelly is number 72. Bobby Johnson working with them personally. Cool moment when they had to go get the equipment for the grill. Connelly ran over to grab it with the equipment guys. Was dribbling it back like a basketball. It's just the little things. It's the passion. It's the one to go do every little thing possible to help, to be a part of what's going on. He's taking initiative. And again, as a 21-year-old, the sky's the limit. We just already talked about the talent. Then he also has the mentality to be great as well. I'm thinking Josh Connelly's going to look like a huge steal, pick 29. People are going to look back a couple of years from now and be like, there's no way. With the athletic upside that he showed, the fact that he gave Abdul Carter his worst game this entire past season as a full-blown edge rusher, 0 pressures, 0 sacks, 0 QB hits, nothing, like a complete dud. He made Abdul Carter not look like a first-round pick. You could argue he was the only tackle in all of college football that went against Abdul Carter and did that last year. People are going to look back and look at all of these signs and be like, how did we let that slip to 29 to the Commanders? I'm telling you right now, the way that we feel, especially in years past, about like, how did this guy get to the Chiefs? How did this guy get to the Ravens? That's how people are going to start feeling about our draft picks, especially Josh Connelly making it to 29. But not even just him. How about Trey Amos making it to 61? Our boy Trenavian Amos, man, as you can see on the screen right now, I mean, he's looking pretty agile as well. You're seeing the footwork, you're seeing the hips, you're seeing the change of direction, even the bend as well. And so you have second-round cornerback Trey Amos going through drills, and you had a coach yell, quote, getting better every rep, Amos, unquote. So this is a guy that, you know, he's starting to get his sea legs up under him. They're starting to warm up now, because again, granted, these guys haven't played serious football since like December, January. So now they're getting back into the motion of practice. And of course they had the combine and pro day, and of course they trained for that, but now they're in like an actual practice setting for the first time in a few months. So, you know, it's probably gonna take a while to adjust, but every rep, you can just see it. Okay, we're getting back to ourselves. I'm turning into should have been a first round pick Tre'Navian Amos right now. He really had no business making it to 61, man. I'm telling you right now. And then moving on, again, I have no idea, but we had no Jaylen Lane clips come out from any Commanders reporter, beat reporter, social media person. No Jaylen Lane today, which is really weird because Jaylen Lane was like the only guy we actually saw do anything yesterday with that clip of him catching the ball in slow motion, running around and everything like that. So at least we got some Jaylen Lane yesterday directly from the official Commanders Twitter, but today, no Jaylen Lane at all. Like, not even a little bit. I didn't even see like a sighting of him. I don't even like remember seeing him in any picture or anything like that. But hey, we'll see him later. Hopefully we see him tomorrow with the second full day of actual rookie minicamp practice, but I'm pretty sure we're going to see a lot of him at OTAs, mandatory minicamps, and training camp. He's going to be unavoidable. His athleticism and explosion quickness, I'm telling you right now, you're not going to be able to miss him. Like, he's going to stick out like a sore thumb, but in a good way. That boy is going to flash all offseason. I'm giving you the heads up right now. He's going to live up beyond the 4th round pick. That's another guy. I think a lot of our draft picks are going to look like steals. People are going to look back and be like, how did this guy, this over 20 pounds heavier than Deshaun Jackson, quicker, faster, and more explosive, just off of the athletic testing at the combine than Deshaun Jackson, again, over 20 pounds heavier, how did that guy make it to the 4th round? I'm not saying he's going to be Deshaun Jackson or even a better version of Deshaun Jackson with the fact that he is more athletic than Deshaun Jackson even was in his prime. But at the same time, man, I'm telling you, this is some guy with some serious traits. And another one of those guys, we're going to look back a couple years from now. Why was Jaylen Lane even available in the 4th round, especially towards the end of the 4th round? Then linebacker Kane Madrono. Now, this is like the only clip we have of him, this quick little 11-second clip. But at the very least, again, even though we don't have pads and stuff, you're seeing the agility, you're seeing the foot quickness and all of that type of stuff. And Kane Madrono, arguably the best coverage linebacker to come out of this draft. He ran the fastest 40 time of any linebacker in this class, and he has very smooth hips. He can change directions very easily. Again, like I've already said, I feel like the closest comp to him, honestly, especially if you want to just go ahead and move him to like a box safety playing the star role, or what some of y'all call the Buffalo nickel, I think like Nick Amawari, Jeremy Chin. I think he can honestly be the Jeremy Chin replacement. I have to feel like Nick Amawari and Jeremy Chin, the way that they're different from him is that they're more explosive, maybe a little bit quicker straight line speed. But Kane Madrono has the better hips and change of direction skills better than both of those guys in Jeremy Chin and Nick Amawari. But they're all three of those guys are elite athletes that probably project better to safety. But they gave Kane Madrono number 56, so maybe they're going to try to put him at linebacker at first, see how it goes. But very athletic guy. At the very least is going to be an elite coverage guy that can help Bobby Wagner and Frankie Louvu do what they want to do best more often. That's stop the run and go after the quarterback. Kane Madrono can handle erasing tight ends for us. Whether he's a linebacker, whether he's a safety, whatever, he's going to be somewhere in that box area. So honestly, it doesn't really matter what number he wears or what position he technically is, because he's going to be somewhere around there taking away tight ends, covering whoever he needs to cover, and occasionally stopping the run, maybe even blitzing after the quarterback, getting a couple of sacks. We'll see though. Now moving on, my boy, running back JCM Kroski Merritt, man. Probably my favorite draft pick of the whole class, just off of the fact that there's no reason he should have been there in the 7th round. And like I keep saying, there's going to be a lot of these guys from this draft class. People are going to look back a couple of years from now and be like, there's no way that guy made it to the pick that he did. I think JCM is going to be the best version of that. I think, honestly, JCM has the potential to be the biggest steal of the entire draft, regardless of team, regardless of pick. Out of every pick in every team that had picks in the draft, all 32 of them, I think JCM may end up being the steal out of the entire draft. I really do, man. I mean, look at the insane agility that he's displaying in these clips right now, man. I mean, you see it on tape. Again, I've already given you the advanced stats since Zebra Sports has been tracking it since 2018 with the Senior Bowl and the East-West Shrine Bowl. He had the #1 quickest deceleration out of all running backs since 2018 to participate in the Senior Bowl, the East-West Shrine Bowl, and he had like the 6th quickest acceleration. It was insane. And then he had like the best forced missed tackle rate from agility out of any running back, and I think he was #1 in run success rate against stacked boxes and things like that. Like, there are some elite traits here that we're working with, and so even without the pads on, even without a defense in front of him, you can just see the agility, man. He has agility that nobody else has in this running back room right now. Not another person in this running back room has that level of quickness and agility. That's why when against stacked boxes, out of all running backs in this entire draft class, including Ashton Genty, include Amarian Hampton, Travion Henderson, Quincy Junkins, Caleb Johnson, whatever running back you want to throw out there, out of all of those running backs, he had the highest run success rate against stacked boxes, and I feel like agility was the majority of the reason for that. Because there's an stack box, typically there's more defenders than your offensive line, and the guys in front of you can block for you. So to have a consistent success against that means you have the agility that there's a guy coming unblocked, or he's beating his blocker very quickly, and you're able to avoid him and still get some positive yardage out of it. That's elite, insane level agility, especially behind the line of scrimmage. He's going to make the first guy miss every time, and we can't say that for any other running back in this running back room. I know he's a 7th round draft pick, so we should keep our expectations a little low, but he was definitely more than a 7th round talent. He only made it to the 7th round because of the fact that he was ineligible to playing college football this past year. But even then, first of all, again, I feel like he's a 3rd round talent at worst, honestly. But even then, the fact that he was ineligible to play ever since the first game of the season, he showed up to every single practice and participated in practice knowing that he had no chance of playing on Saturdays. I feel like that work ethic alone should have gotten him drafted in the 5th round, but it is what it is. We're lucky that he made it to the 7th with the ability for us to even get him. The fact that we even have him on the roster right now, I'm still shocked. I'm absolutely shocked by the fact that we even somehow ended up with him in the 7th. I mean, I wouldn't have been mad if they took him in the 4th, honestly. Instead of Jaylen Lane, now you have Jaylen Lane and Ja'Cory. But also shouts out to Anthony Lynn because he was working with the running backs, including, of course, 7th round running back Ja'Cory Kroski Merritt. And when he was doing his teaching, he said, quote, "All great runners play with leverage," unquote. And I feel like Ja'Cory Kroski has a lot of that. And then shouts out to Rio Robinson. He brings up a good point. He said, finally, we got a back with some lateral agility on the roster. He definitely has the most lateral agility out of any running back we have. And that's already right now, day one. Now, granted, of course, there's a lot of nuance to when you get into the transitioning from college to the NFL, pass protection, route running, vision, even though I see a lot of great vision in his tape, but, you know, there's a lot of nuanced mental things that, you know, of course, that he can work on and get better at, but just pure natural God-given ability, especially that agility of his, immediately the best in our running back room day one. And that also gives him like a niche, because Brian Robinson's more the bulldozer type of guy, 3rd and 1, 4th and 1 goal line situation. Austin Eckler's your 3rd and long. You can send him out on a route. He's also our best pass protecting running back still right now. So he's like your best bet at protecting Jaden Daniels on a 3rd and long, obvious passing down situation. But and even you could throw in Chris Rodriguez in there. You could throw in Jeremy McNichols. You can even throw in Michael Wiley. Nobody has this agility. So if there's a specific situation, we need a zone run. It's 3rd and 3. We need those 3 yards. I have my money on Ja'Cory more than any running back we have in our room right now already. That's just me personally. Now moving on from him. Now we have the first look at Gabe Taylor in his number 26 jersey. Again, you saw the helmet yesterday with the number 26 and the Taylor on it that I showed y'all in a clip yesterday. But now you actually see him in the jersey chilling around with the other defensive backs there. You have Trey Amos, who's, of course, a 2nd round pick. You have Fentrell Cypress, who's an undrafted free agent from Florida State. And, of course, you have right there, number 26, Sean Taylor's younger brother, Gabe Taylor. Now let's get into the clips. And look at him, man. I mean, it's never been a lack of athleticism. The only thing that's working against him right now was, you could argue, maybe level of competition playing at Rice, but same thing with Luke McCaffrey, who we took in the 3rd round, so you can tell they don't care about that. I think it's how small he is. That's literally because when you do his relative athletic score, literally the only thing holding him back is a bunch of green, at worst yellow everywhere, and then you just have that red because he's really small. Very, very small in height and weight. If you would have literally, I showed y'all this too. I did a whole individual like 25-minute breakdown on Gabe Taylor. I watched his film. I gave you advanced stats and everything. I showed you his relative athletic scores. And even in that video, I showed y'all if you just make him 6'2", 220, he's like a 9-point something athlete. So it's not the movement at all. The thing that's holding him back is literally just his lack of size. But boy, you can see him moving in these clips. And you even had a defensive back coach yell, quote, "Holy SHIT. I could feel how fast that was," unquote. So these coaches are loving what they're seeing from Gabe Taylor. Of course, I always want, every time I talk about Gabe Taylor in a video, I'm going to stop and emphasize the fact that this guy is a rookie minicamp invite. He's not even signed as an undrafted free agent. And you know, we look at undrafted free agents like, oh man, it's very unlikely that they make the final 53-man roster. Well, this guy's not even to the undrafted free agent level. He's the level below that. He's not even on roster right now. He's not a part of our 90-man roster going into the off-season workouts. If you want to add him to the roster, you have to cut somebody else. So Gabe Taylor has a huge hill to climb, but of course I'm rooting for him. And when you stand out like that and you have coaches raving about you and saying, I could feel how fast that drill was. Again, he's undersized. And that's the problem, though, because they can rave about how fast he is all they want, because there's never been a problem of speed. He killed that at this pro day. I think it was his vertical, one of those broad jumps, a vertical was crazy. One of his agility drills was crazy. Like, you see it. The movement skills are insane. The production, the mentality, all there. He's literally just undersized. That's the only thing honestly working against him right now. We'll see if he can ball out enough and show that his movement skills are elite enough to where they'll overlook his lack of size, and he can make up for that lack of size. Hopefully tomorrow, instead of just doing these individual drill things, we'll get to see at least a little bit of simulated, like Gabe Taylor covering Jaylen Lane or something like that. And I think if he can do a good job in those scenarios, if they do that tomorrow, I think there maybe is a chance that he could end up signed as an undrafted free agent. We'll see. Again, I'm rooting for him, but I'm just letting you know why. That undersized thing is the reason that he's not currently an undrafted free agent already, not on the 90-man roster. But again, if coach is talking about you like that and you're popping, you're shining, you're flashing, and coaches are noticing you, that's always a great sign. And now, before we get up out of here, you have Gabe Taylor, of course, the younger brother of Sean Taylor, and he spoke to the media after practice. And of course, again, he's not even on the roster. He's not a draft pick. He's not an undrafted free agent. So, of course, he didn't speak at the podium like you're going to see a little later with Josh Connelly when I show you his clip of talking. But the media surrounded this guy. This guy had as much media around him as Josh Connelly, the first-round pick. So you know there's already a lot of hype and attention put towards him, but I felt like he had a great interview with a lot of the questions that they asked him. I'll go ahead and play those back-to-back right here.
Upgrade the facility for sure, that's one thing. But just coming through these doors, man, just like all the memories, and then they got the 21 jersey on the wall in the equipment room, and then you just see my brother's name, man, you know. Something I feel like I got to do and to represent him, so best way I can possible to do that.
What would you tell your brother if he was here?
Excuse me?
What would you tell your brother if he was here watching you?
I know you damn proud of me. I know you're damn proud of me. You know, all the pressure on my back that I don't feel like people think I feel. Like, I don't really care, but I like to see the comments, you know. I'm the type of person that thrives on critics. You know, I'd rather be critic than all the positivity, because, you know, I got to get better. So I just love to see all the critics, you know. You know, doing one here at high school football and translating to college 4 years and coming here, I couldn't ask nothing better. I just thank God for the opportunity he gave me, and hopefully I show the team I can come in and, you know, contribute any way I can possibly.
What was it like putting on the gold like your brother wore?
I had to take a moment, take a deep breath when I just looked at the helmet, and, you know, I've been, you know, just watching the Redskins, Commanders all my life, and just, you know, I could have went somewhere else, but I chose here for a reason. And, you know, hopefully I get to put it on again and continue forward with him.
Knowing he walked here, you kind of feel a different sense walking around here. He was in these same halls, same locker rooms.
No, sir, I'll take it one day at a time. I don't care what people, the critics say about my height, and they want to compare me to him, but it doesn't even matter. The only goal I have with this team is the last team standing and win a championship if they get me here.
And then lastly, before we go, here goes Josh Connelly speaking to the media as well. And every time he speaks, you can just kind of see a little bit of personality there. Like, he's not just this bland robot at the podium like most people are. Like, some of his, and it's like a really cool personality that the media can get with. It's not like somebody that has to suppress their true personality. I feel like maybe he's suppressing it some. But, you know, every now and then you just get like a little sense of, you'll see in the clip right here. Instead of me wasting more of y'all time, here y'all go.
It's too nice outside not to be.
So what are some of the things that you all have been working on since you have all been together so far this weekend?
Yeah, obviously just getting in, learn the playbook as fast as we can, and then get out there and just try to perfect technique and stuff like that.
But yeah, man, that's the end of this video. Please get in the comment section. Let me know if you feel about everything discussed in the video. Please still farm that like button, still farm the subscription button, still farm the bell next to that subscription button so you get notification each and every time I release an informative and opinionated video just like this one. Of course, when they have practice tomorrow, if we get access to it, if we get clips and all of that stuff, like we get to actually see what's going on tomorrow, I will do another video just like this one tomorrow. And probably later on today, I'll do a video breaking down what Dan Quinn said before and after practice as well, because he said a lot of interesting things, especially that whole us potentially playing in Spain thing. We're gonna dive into all of that type of stuff in that video later. I wanted to keep this purely focused on the rookies. We'll let Dan Quinn and all of those guys speak later. We'll talk about the upcoming schedule that's gonna get released on May 14th and some of the leaks that's coming from that. We'll talk about that later. For now, this is just purely rookies, and again tomorrow, if the media has access to them tomorrow like they did today, where we get to actually see clips from the practice, I'm gonna show y'all those clips and analyze those just like we did today as well. So make sure you leave a like on the way out. Of course, let me know in the comment section how you feel about everything discussed in this video. Let me know if you agree or disagree with any of my points. Let me know how you feel about Gabe Taylor's chances of making the roster, especially now that coaches are noticing him and complimenting him while he's at practice. Let me know how you feel about all of that and more. Of course, again, make sure you leave a like on the way out. I'm gonna catch y'all later. I'm out.